From the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet presents NCAA Division II women's basketball coverage live on the ECC network. Tonight's matchup features the Chestnut Hill College Griffins taking on the College of Staten Island Dolphins. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman, joined by my broadcast partner, Nick Durst. And Nick, we did come on the air a bit late tonight. Starters are being introduced out on the floor. Nick, you have those starting lineups for both teams.
All right, first for the Chestnut Hill College Griffins, who come in at 17-9, 12-4 overall in the Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference. Their last game was a big win, 85-78 on Saturday against Goldie Beacom. Here is their starting lineup. Number 3, Abby Spratt. Number 5, Morgan Sterner. Number 23, Lauren Krim. Number 30, Emily Schmiel. And number 34, Bree Ryder. Emily Schmiel, 16 points, 10 rebounds. And Abby Spratt, 70 points in her last game. Schmiel leading the way with 10.3 points per game this season for the team. 8 other players on their team average 5 points per game now. For the CSI Dolphins, who are 9-17, 5-10 in the ECC. This is a non-conference game. Next conference game is a big one coming up on Saturday versus Roberts Wesleyan right here in the tank. Will be on the call. But in their last game, they lost to District Columbia 86-58. Here's their starting lineup. Number 2, Ashley Lambert. Number 4, Kaya Johnson. Number 13, Janelise Alarcon. Number 14, Lizzie LaFaro. And number 23, Noemia Masinge.
Keep that in mind. Noemia Masinge wearing number 23 this evening. At times has worn 23, at times has worn 3. It looks like it's going to be 23 at home the rest of the way this season. As we are set for opening tip-off, once again, we do apologize for coming on the air just a bit late tonight. We had one of our backdrops fall apart during the pregame, so we had to manage that, get it out of the way, and we came on a bit late as a result. But we're with you to open up the night from the College of Staten Island Dolphins and the Griffins from the College of Staten Island.
For the Dolphins here, going to rely on Alarcon, 11.2 points per game, 8.7 rebounds, 2.1 assists, leading the way for the team. Lambert, 10 points per game, and Esposito, 8 points per game.
Ashley Lambert has been on quite the tear lately. She will come off the bench, or I should say she's in the starting lineup tonight. Didn't see her out there, but Lambert is indeed in the starting lineup as the Dolphins open the game with a miss. Sometimes a bit hard to follow the starting units for this Dolphins team. They've gone with a lot of different lineups so far this year as the Griffins immediately commit a turnover.
Dolphins, if they want to string together some victories here, going to have to do a lot better shooting-wise. They were only 22 of 62 in their loss Saturday on the 18th against District of Columbia, hence why they lost 86-58. In the last game we called, Joe, shooting was an issue, but they shot better than their opponent and they won.
Dolphins with an easy 2 right there as Kaya Johnson lays it in off the feed. High percentage shots. That's what the Dolphins need to get their offense going. Griffins have it on the outside. Crims gave it up. Now Bree Ryder with it. She hands off. Abby Spratt met by LaFaro. It's poked away and loose. Nearly stolen by Johnson. She's down in front of us. And jump ball is called.
Kaya had to make sure she didn't roll out of bounds there. Very close to going out of bounds right in front of our table.
Possession arrow favors the Griffins. They get a fresh 30 seconds on the shot clock. I mentioned Ashley Lambert on quite the tear for the Dolphins. She scored in double figures 5 times in her last 6. Make it 6 out of 7 for Lambert. As the Dolphins force another miss. Alarcon out to Johnson. Johnson defended by Spratt. Gives it up to Alarcon, who will try a 3. No good. And the rebound goes to Sterner.
Dolphins with only a 3-woman bench tonight. Jenkins, Phelan, and Esposito on the bench.
We've seen that on several occasions the last 2 years. As that layup is good, and Lauren Krim puts the Griffins on the board.
8 people on the bench for the Griffins, and I mentioned before, they have 8 players averaging at least 5 points per game. Well, 9, because the leading scorer is Emily Schmiel, who's averaging 10.3 points per game.
That shot off back iron, no good, but the Griffins couldn't bring in the rebound. Dolphins will keep possession. Singay. Big crossover. She drives and can't finish as she throws one off the bottom of the rim.
Nice move to the basket there, but put the shot up under the rim too much.
That was tipped out of bounds. It will stay Griffin's ball.
So we got a second here. Just a reminder, this is a non-conference game, so this will not have an impact on the Dolphins' conference tournament hopes.
We have a lot to talk about when it comes to the East Coast Conference postseason tournament. Both the men and the women are on the brink of clinching a postseason berth. We're not quite there yet as we have a foul. That foul comes on the shot. And Krim will head to the line for two. But, Nick, for the men, it's simple. If they win on Saturday, they're in. There's a good chance they clinch before then. Queens College Knights, the only team that can catch the Dolphins right now, and they have a matchup looming with the 12-1 stacked Spartans ahead of Saturday. If the Knights lose, the Dolphins are in. As for the women,
odds are definitely stacked against the Knights.
They would have to win 2, and the Dolphins would have to lose on Saturday. And Queens has 2 tough games left, so that's going to be difficult, but don't count the Knights out yet. As for the Dolphins, on the men's side, we'll talk more about them later. The women need a win on Saturday, and they are in, if I'm not mistaken. But there are still tiebreakers that could possibly go against them. Malloy chasing the Dolphins as that turnaround jumper is no good by Ryder. Rebound goes to Johnson, and she looks to push. Johnson attacks, spins, and finishes off the window and one.
Nice shot there by Johnson to go the full length of the court, attack the basket, lays it up and in, and gets to go to the free throw line here for one more.
Nice finish by Kaya Johnson off the spin move and then off the window. One more to come from the line. That free throw, no good. Score tied at 4, nearly 4 minutes into the opening quarter. We've seen a lot of these grinded out games for the Dolphins where there isn't a lot of scoring. But the Dolphins have played well defensively this year. The issue has been at the offensive end, but they've really struggled for extended periods in several games.
Sometimes they just go really cold shooting it. And this is a team that's always been do or die, live by the 3.
I mentioned Ashley Lambert already. One of the Dolphins' best shooters has really begun to heat up down the stretch of this season as that's stolen away on the entry pass intended for Masingay. But Lambert's really been heating up. Gia Esposito's had a couple of really nice games lately as well. And there's a three-pointer for the Griffins, who are getting set to check 3 new players into the game.
Esposito had 21 points on Saturday at the District of Columbia. Lambert 16.
Esposito scored 14 against this Griffins team last year. Looking over towards the scorer's table, the first Dolphin off the bench will be Dana Phelan. This is LaFaro into the corner. Johnson left open. Too strong. Rebound by Alarcon. She goes up with it and finishes.
How many times have we seen that this season, Joe?
A lot of Alarcon's best offense has been on the offensive glass. You said it, Nick. We've seen that many times this year. Chestnut Hill by 1. 7-6. Sterner attempted the scoop and was fouled. And with that, we will head to a media timeout inside of 5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Our score, Chestnut Hill 7, Staten Island 6. 4:47 remaining in the opening quarter.
Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends. Live sports and watch parties. To Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we are back from the tank. Joe Foreman rejoining you alongside Nick Durst. Dolphins trail by 1 in the opening minutes of the first quarter. Chestnut Hill 7, Staten Island 6. And Morgan Sterner heads to the line for the Griffins.
Good to see the men's ECC Player of the Week in the building supporting the Dolphins, sitting behind their bench. He's in the blue Dodgers cap with the gray sweatshirt. You see him there, Christian Velasquez. Congrats to him on the award.
Chris Velasquez, East Coast Conference Player of the Week, and an honorable mention for Mets Basketball Writers Association Player of the Week. So 2 accolades for Chris this week. Dolphins been piling up the awards this year. 3 different men's basketball players have won East Coast Conference Player of the Week. 2 of those 3 named Mets Basketball Writer Association Player of the Week. The other 2, J.J. Chestnut, Messiah Mallory. Jenelise Alarcon also a co-player of the week in the ECC this year. 5 to shoot. This is Amaya Jenkins, and her jumper is good.
She made that look so easy. She wanted to potentially pass. Alarcon kind of pointed and said, take that shot off the screen, and she did it. It was easy.
Jenkins with her first points on her first shot, and the Dolphins are back to within 1 again. Off the post spin, that shot no good by Leah Miller, but she lays it back up and in.
Leah Miller, 6 foot, tallest person on the court right now.
Chestnut Hill back in front by 3. Esposito on the pull-up off the mark, and the rebound goes to Miller. Esposito led the Dolphins in scoring against this Griffins team last year, as that three-pointer is good. Caitlin Carter from beyond the arc, and the lead is now 6.
Griffins here getting hot to close out the first quarter.
Esposito had 14 against the Griffins last year. Alarcon had 12, and Alarcon scores again. She now has 4 points in this game. The Dolphins can get Alarcon some more easy buckets like that at the rim. That would go a long way for them offensively because a lot of Jenelise's baskets are really tough shots.
Well, most of the season long we've seen her get the ball around the free throw line, and then she's double or triple teamed. So the book is out on her after her tremendous freshman year last year where she was the ECC Rookie of the Year. And this year teams have made it a priority to focus in on her defensively. And that's why her scoring's down a bit, but her rebounds are still there and her assist numbers are up.
That shot rattles out. 1 of 2 trip to the line. Morgan Olowski in the game as well off the bench for the Griffins. Kick out to Lambert. Toes on the line. Short from deep 2-point range, and the rebound goes to Miller. Jenkins nearly poked it away, and traveling is called.
Good job there by Jenkins to force the travel, I would say, as the ball dribbler got afraid there was going to be a steal. Ends up traveling.
Entirely new unit into the game for Chestnut Hill following that media timeout, also including Bree Hewlett, Avery White. That's Esposito, too strong, and rebounded by Alarcon. That's 4 rebounds for Jenelise already, and LaFaro's floater is no good. Wheeled in the corner by Olowski, looks to drive, drops off to Miller, and Miller finishes in traffic.
Leah Miller doing a great job here in this game at the rim early on.
You can see it early. This Chestnut Hill team can score. Good look from Jenkins. Poor execution on the pass. Miller was right there waiting. Here comes White to the rim. Drops it off. Open teammate is Hewlett, and she lays it in for 2 more.
Griffins have a lot of height. Right now the Dolphins have no answer for them in the paint.
That's a good pass, setting up an easy layup. Dolphins have to be a bit more mindful there defensively, as Alarcon lost it, but that was off the foot of White. Just under a minute and a half to play in this opening quarter. Feels like the Dolphins really need a basket here. Esposito reels that pass in beyond the arc, 12 on the shot clock. Esposito crosses over, and the pass is tipped on the way into Alarcon. Two Griffins all alone up the floor. Phelan gives chase, and the layup is blown underneath the rim. Carter couldn't finish. The Dolphins now have numbers. Esposito open for three. No good. Rebounded by Carter. Here comes White. Jenkins runs into White. Orlowski now slows things down with 20 on the shot clock. White gives it up. Hewlett. 10 to shoot. Nice cut by Miller, who lost it, and it will remain Griffins basketball.
Wemi Masinga checking in now. Alarcon to the bench for the first time for the Dolphins.
Griffins get it in. Orlowski open for three, and that rattles home.
Orlowski left open, takes the shot, and she makes it count. Dolphins down 12 here early.
Griffins now 3 of 5 from downtown as Phelan is stifled on her way to the basket. White finds an open shooter. Carter buries the three.
Carter again. This team has height, and you can see it's giving the Dolphins all sorts of fits on both ends. And this Chestnut Hill College team, they could shoot for the threes, and they have.
There's a nice hesitation move by Jenkins to bring the quarter to a close. And after one, our score, Chestnut Hill 25 and the College of Staten Island 12. And we come back the second quarter in this NCAA Division II women's basketball non-conference matchup.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
And we're back from the tank. Joe Foreman alongside Nick Durst for CSI Sportsnet. And the Dolphins trail by 13 after one. 25-12 the score at the start of the second quarter. Dolphins will possess the ball first in quarter number two. Maya Jenkins remains out there with Masinga, Esposito, Alarcon, and Phelan. Esposito for three. Short. And rebounded by White. Poked at by Phelan. White holds on. Can't find a teammate. Griffins have 2 seconds to get it across the timeline, and they do. Feed inside for White. White picked up her dribble. This 5 to shoot. This is Hewlett for three. And the Griffins knock down another triple.
So, Joe, you mentioned the first quarter, but so far this season, Dolphins, they're really not playing too bad defensively. It's just that offensively, they just can't keep up with these teams because The Griffins, when they get their open shots, they're making them. The Dolphins, on the other hand, are missing most of their long-range shots right now.
Well, that's a good point you make, Nick. Teams that shoot well from the outside have given the Dolphins a lot of trouble this year. That's where the defensive breakdowns have typically come. Dolphins have been pretty good defending around the rim this year. It's been the three-pointer. It's been giving them problems, and it's not to say they've allowed a high shooting percentage from downtown. It's the teams that do shoot it very well from distance that have given them issues, as Phelan buries a three.
Well, you need more of that if you're the Dolphins if you want to keep pace, because right now the Griffins are doing a tremendous job of shooting three-pointers.
The Griffins are 5 of 7 from three. That three-pointer by Phelan, the first for the Dolphins, as Alarcon rebounds the white miss. Here comes CSI. And we've seen it this year. We saw it highlighted a bit more last year. Dolphins have capable shooters on this team. They can certainly knock down three-pointers. As Esposito tries another tough shot, that's no good. And there's a good heads-up play by Jenkins. And that's a foul. It will be Dolphins' ball, and you've said it many times already this year, Nick. You like the way Jenkins plays.
I love the effort. It kind of reminds me of Pablo Prigioni back in the day with the Knicks.
It's a good comparison.
Defense first, always going to be the aggressor, gets the steals, and leads to some easy baskets, or at least in this case, a turnover. So tremendous job there by Jenkins to get the possession back to the Dolphins.
Dolphins stealing points with those kinds of turnovers. Alarcon's doubled under the basket, and she is rejected on the inside by Emily Schmiel.
The problem is, right now, in instances like this, when Alarcon gets the ball, I double her, and even if she is kicking it out, right now the Dolphins pretty cold shooting-wise from long range. But the Dolphins are just a very streaky team from three-point range.
And a foul is called underneath. Now the 5'9 Alarcon is being defended by a 6'2 defender. That makes things a little bit more difficult, and I'm not sure if you caught it, but before the turnover forced by Jenkins, Alarcon had a shot from the top of the arc. The bench wanted her to take it. She never really looked at the rim after she caught the ball. And I know that's a shot that Nicole Sarcone wanted her to take. You could see it written all over her face as the free throw is good.
Well, when you have a huge presence down low between Schmiel and also Miller, both over 6 foot in this game, and they're down there, you got to look to just shoot from long range because it's going to be very difficult to get shots up in the paint over that height.
If there's ever a game for Alarcon to have the quick trigger from the outside, it's this one. Because shots in the paint are not going to be easy to come by, and the Dolphins are already down double figures. So they're going to need three-pointers to get back in this thing.
The one thing you can't coach in all sports, and it pays the most dividends in collegiate sports, specifically basketball, is height. It's just natural, and the best way to combat that is just going to be to shoot the ball from long range and make the shots.
Dolphins, early in this game, clearly have made it a point of emphasis to feature Alarcon because they've been trying to get her the ball just about every time they possess it, whether it's on an entry pass, off an inbound, outside the three-point line. She's had a lot of touches early in this game. And we've seen games where she doesn't touch the ball much.
Could have shot that there.
Definitely could have, but she does draw the double team. And Jenkins knocks down a three.
Keep feeding the hot hand right now. I think you got to get Jenkins a touch every possession as she's equating for a good amount of offense as of late.
Schmiel trying to back in. Lefty hook, no good. Dolphins can make it a 10-point game again. Could even cut it to single digits with a three. Lambert off the handoff. Alarcon left open. Three-pointer no good, but that's a good shot.
It's a good look. It was halfway down. Hopefully she shoots some more of those.
That's a shot she has to take in a game like this where the Dolphins trailing early having a tough time in the paint. She has to take that shot. That's a good shot. That three no good off the window. That was way off by Spratt. Schmiel off the offensive rebound and throws up a wild shot there. Schmiel wasn't the rebounder, but she was the shooter on that last attempt. And now Phelan has an open three. Too strong, rebounded by Jenkins. Jenkins to the basket. And she goes down to the floor, tie up underneath. And they're going to say Alarcon stepped on the baseline. .5:25 to go in the second quarter. Dolphins trail by 12. But CSI has been playing with better energy here in the second quarter. Schmiel fouled by Esposito. A lot of aspiring officials in the stands tonight.
Good turnout here for a Tuesday night single header, that's for sure.
Take advantage of free admission the rest of the season.
Be here Saturday, and if you can't, you're going to want to tune in right here on the ECC network for 2 outstanding broadcasts.
There's a lot on the line Saturday, and it's also senior day, so you don't want to miss that.
And for the first time in many years, as that is missed, you will not be doing the senior day speech if all goes according to plan on the PA.
I certainly will not be doing the senior day speech. I will be the author of the speech, as Lambert's step-back jumper is no good. And that's not a great shot. Early in the shot clock, step back for a deep 2. That's a tough shot. That shot is short. And rebounded by Ryder. Griffins work the ball around quickly, and the layup is no good. Second try is good. Siobhan Boylan for 2.
Boylan, 5'10 herself, and just everyone on this team has height.
They have 8 players listed 5'10 or taller. No active Dolphin tonight stands above 5'9". That's a big size disadvantage as Alarcon makes a tough shot look easy.
Nice move there by Alarcon with the lefty floater off the glass. Going up against all that height down low. Made it look easy.
When she has gotten one-on-one looks around the basket, she's had the touch tonight. It's off to a nice start. 6 points, 5 rebounds. 8 to shoot. Floater in the lane. No good by Spratt. And another offensive board for the Griffins. There's good defense by the Dolphins against Schmiel. She was smothered inside. Lambert for Alarcon. Now LaFaro looks to attack. Spins. And doesn't get the roll off the front rim. That's another good move by the Dolphins to the basket. This time LaFaro just couldn't get the shot to go.
Dolphins are going to have to start making some shots here because the Griffins, it's going to be rare if they're going to miss 3 or more shots in a row.
That was a great look by Boylan. Schmiel wasn't ready. The Dolphins come up with the steal, and Esposito is short. Gia hasn't had the touch so far tonight. 0 of 6 from the field. Dolphins have had the looks in this quarter as well. They just haven't gone down. They're 3 of 12 from the field. A lot of those shots have been good ones, so we'll see if CSI can turn things around on the other side of this break. 2:59 to play. First half, Dolphins trail by 12.
NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
So you're going to South Carolina.
Baseball is indeed going to be on their way to South Carolina very soon, if you heard our conversation coming back from the commercial break. Right now, CSI women's basketball in action here from the tank. Under 3 minutes to play first half. Dolphins trail by 12, still well within striking distance here in the second quarter. But Nick, the Dolphins need to start making some shots. And traveling is called against Lindsay Lane, who checks in for the Griffins. Another new unit in for Chestnut Hill. You said it to me yesterday, Nick. A lot of depth on this team. They play a very long rotation.
Yeah, when you have 9 players averaging over 5 points per game, you know that you have a lot of quality players.
Alarcon somehow able to get that out to LaFaro. She swatted at it when the ball was loose. 8 to shoot. LaFaro, strong move. Step back jumper, air ball.
Alarcon there was triple teamed, miraculously able to keep the play alive, but the Dolphins come up empty.
She got that ball away cleanly. LaFaro was open, and then Lizzie made a nice move, got wide open. Perhaps thought she had a little bit less time than she did to get that shot off. Griffins have played swarming defense all night. Good recovery there by the Dolphins in the corner. And Lambert has the rebound off the crim miss. Phelan up top for Alarcon. Masinghe on the baseline. LaFaro open 3. No good. Dolphins are getting great shots here in the second quarter. They've gotten enough stops. They just can't get these shots to go. Sterner is short. All of a sudden, the Griffins have gone cold.
Believe it or not, the Griffins only have 10 shots made right now. Dolphins 9, but Griffins have done some serious damage from three-point range with 5 made shots.
That tells a lot of the story. 4 of 6 three-point shooting in the first quarter. The Griffins have connected on 4 more threes than CSI. Or check that, 3 more threes.
Griffins also out-rebounding the Dolphins by 10. Mentioned a lot of height all this game, and so far it's coming into play.
Not often you get out-rebounded by 10 and have attempted 8 more shots, as Griffins do get one up at the horn, but it's no good, and Dolphins with a chance to get back to within 10, and Jenkins travel. Offensive drought here for both of these teams. Both sides now scoreless for over 3 minutes. We're under a minute to play in the first half, and the Griffins turn it over. So all of a sudden, this game's gotten ugly.
Dolphins, if they get a bucket here and you go into half down 10, it's a big difference between 12. I know it's only one basket, but the mentality changes big time.
CSI could go 2 for 1 here.
That's what I was thinking they were going to attempt, but it looks like they're going to take some time now to get a good shot.
Masinghe to the basket. That's a nice move by Noemi and Masinghe.
Well, we've seen her now make 2 nice moves to the basket. The previous time came up a little short as she got rejected by the rim, but that was big there. And now we got a 10-point game.
There's some great ball movement by the Griffins. They pick up another easy layup. 8 seconds to go in the half. Here comes Phelan.
A big 3
Lambert.
or something right now would be huge.
2 to shoot. Jenkins, no good off glass. And that will do it for the first half. So Nick and I will step aside very quickly. Coming up next, our TLC Physical Therapy halftime report. Nick will be joined on the court by CSI women's basketball head coach Nicole Sarcone.
All right, we are here with Coach Sarcone. Coach, down 12 going into halftime. How do you combat the height difference? The team, the Griffins, they have 8 players listed at 5'10 or over. You have nobody active tonight over 5'10. What kind of fits is that giving your team on the glass?
Yeah, I mean they're a long team and they go deep into their bench, so we knew that was going to be a struggle coming in. But I think our tenacity on defense, we've done a great job, held them to 9 points in that half. But we got to go to the boards. We just got to want it. We're making them take tough shots, but on that first shot, we got to box and go get that board.
Talking about tenacity defensively, I think Amaya Jenkins is leading the way. She's been tenacious all season long. What do you like about her effort?
Yeah, I mean, she gives 100% effort all the time. Just the way she pressures the ball, the way she goes to the offensive and defensive boards, it gives us second chance opportunities, second chance in possession. So it gives us life out there when she plays like that.
All right, thank you very much, Coach, for your time. Best luck in the second half. Back to you, Joe.
Thank you, Nick. That is our TLC Physical Therapy halftime report. CSI Women's Basketball head coach Nicole Sarcone joining Nick on the floor. When we come back, the second half in this NCAA Division II women's basketball matchup, the Dolphins trail 34-22 at halftime. And we are back from the tank. We're about set to start the second half between the Dolphins and the Griffins. CSI trailing by 12 heading into the third quarter. Nick, you spoke to head coach of the Dolphins, Nicole Sarcone, at halftime. What needs to change heading into the second half of this Dolphins team?
Need to start making some more shots, especially the three-pointers. Going 2 for 10 from three-point range is not good, and that's the story right now. Chestnut Hill has 5 three-pointers made, so right there, that's 9-point differential. And overall, only 10 for 35 from the field. Not great. They're actually out shooting Chestnut Hill. Chestnut Hill has 27 shots, only 11 makes, but three of their extra makes there above the Dolphins are three-pointers. So that's the story right now to go along with the rebounds, but Staten Island is not going to out-rebound Chestnut Hill, so they need to just start making their shots here and continue taking as many as they can.
Griffins will possess it first to start the third quarter. And the first shot of the quarter, no good by Schmiel.
The Dolphins they need someone to get really hot from three-point range. We've seen in spurts this season Esposito do it, Lambert do it. But right now they just need somebody to consistently start knocking down the threes.
And there's another nice move by Masinghe. That crossover right to left is her go-to move, and she's left defenders in the dust with it tonight.
See, her knee is heavily taped up, but doesn't seem to giving her any issues on the court.
Two shots from Masinghe, and the first is no good. Dolphins haven't made a free throw yet in this game.
Well, all season long, free throws have been an issue for this Dolphins team.
Men's basketball team that typically doesn't get to the line much. Women's team really hasn't gotten to the line too much either. And there's another three for the Griffins. Lauren Krim from downtown. And all night long, the Dolphins have struggled against the outside shooting of the Griffins.
Another three there.
That's number 6 for the Dolphins. Ashley Lambert answers right back with a mid-range jumper.
I think that's the first time the Dolphins have answered a made shot with a made shot all night long.
That's the first time Lambert has scored. She came in red hot. Double digits in 6 out of 7. Has a long way to go tonight.
Lambert, historically a second half scorer. We'll see if she could turn it on.
That's true. Alarcon again drawing a crowd. LaFaro, short. Rebound by Krim. Lambert defending on the baseline. Kick out by Sterner. Griffin swinging around the perimeter. Spratt with 15 on the shot clock. Gives it up. Ryder. Krim in the corner. Schmiel. Kick out. They swing it down into the corner to Sterner. Back up top. Krim. Floater. No good. Schmiel has the rebound, and she's fouled.
For Schmiel there, just too easy to get that rebound. She is just towering over everybody. 6'2", absolutely dominant.
First free throw by Schmiel is good.
Schmiel with 7 rebounds in the first half. So she is well on her way to double-digit rebounds.
She goes 2 of 2 from the line. Chestnut Hill by 14. Griffins in this game 9 of 12 from the stripe. Dolphins have attempted just 3 free throws. And there's a nice give and go by the Dolphins. Alarcon to Johnson and right back to Alarcon for an easy layup.
Beautiful feed there by Johnson, who leads the team in assist to find a wide open cutting Alarcon.
The Griffins once again answer right back, and the lead is 14. Masinghe on the outside, and that's a bad pass, stolen, and Sterner will take it to the basket for an easy layup.
Well, Joe, these Griffins, they go 13 deep. All 13 players played in the first half. Everybody logged at least 3 minutes. Pretty incredible.
Masinghe had it blocked, and then the kick out off the offensive rebound was tipped, but the Dolphins keep possession. And CSI will call timeout. Our score with 6:56 on the clock in the third quarter. Chestnut Hill 43, Staten Island 27.
My dad was a soccer coach and bought this little book bag. I could sit in the book bag like facing backwards and with like my legs out. So I'd be in his book bag when my dad coaches and the ball's going around. I'm like kicking at the ball in the back. And my dad was like, "We have a prodigy." So he put me into soccer and it just progressed from there. The catalyst was the opportunity to play soccer at a Division II school. On my team, I thrive to work as hard as I can. I mean, whatever you do on the field, there's a positive correlation to whatever else you do, be it personal relationships, homework, the way you carry yourself. I've changed since I got to King University. It's really helped me to develop as a leader. I think it's honestly the best thing that's ever happened.
Just inside of 7 minutes to play, quarter number 3. 12 on the shot clock for the Dolphins, who trail by 16. And Lambert is short from the corner. That's a shot Lambert hasn't missed much lately.
Usually the corner shot is her best shot.
Corner specialist, as they call it. And Schmiel can't get the layup to go. Here comes Lambert back the other way. Johnson for Phelan. Alarcon through a double team, and she's fouled. That will send Genelise to the line for 2 shots. Free throw attempts number 4 and 5 for the Dolphins. And that rattles out. Second free throw is good. Dolphins within 15. They need a strong finish to this third quarter in order to stay in this game down the stretch. That shot off the mark from distance, rebounded by Masinghe. Here comes Johnson. Alarcon for a cutting Masinghe, and Masinghe lost it. And it will be Griffin's basketball.
Dolphins here, they need to get some shots made, strung together. 3 or 4 shots in a row to get some points here. Because right now, they're getting the shots up, but again, I've been saying it all game long. They're not falling. And this is a very streaky team. And when they face teams who are very good on three-pointers, such as the Griffins, it struggles for them in the scoreboard.
That's an easy 2 inside for Emily Schmiel. Dolphins just don't have the length to combat a shot like that underneath. Not really much that can be done there other than deny her the catch, as Lambert can't get the layup to go, and the rebound is pulled in by Abby Spratt. Griffins head back the other way. Ryder, kick out. Open shooter in the corner. And that three-pointer is off the mark by Sterner. That would have made it a 20-point game. There's an easy 2 for Alarcon. And one-on-one, they've had no answer for Genelise tonight.
Well, nobody in the conference of the ECC and nobody out of conference has an answer for Alarcon one-on-one, but it's been very rare that she's gotten those one-on-one attempts this season.
Ryder, no good. Schmiel pulls in the rebound and lays it in for 2 more.
Getting the rebounds is very easy for Schmiel. Chestnut Hill got to check in a whole new 5 at the next whistle. Maya Jenkins got to check in for the Dolphins.
The ball just finds Schmiel time and time again. There's a deep 3 by Esposito, who buries it.
Well, Dolphins needed that. First made 3 in a long, long time. And we'll see if the Dolphins get some more of those going here.
Dolphins had to have that one. Ball loose and taken in by Schmiel. And she traveled.
Good defense there.
Schmiel can't believe it. Neither can the Griffins bench. As we will head to a media timeout. Our score, Chestnut Hill 47, Staten Island 33. Dolphins need a strong finish to this third quarter. Griffins trying to keep them at arm's length.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades. It was my sophomore indoor season. It was the first year with our new head coach. And he comes in and he's like, we could be a national contending team if you guys work hard. And I heard him and I was like, well, I want to be a national champion. I want to be an All-American. And I bought in because he bought into our team. And I qualified to go to indoor nationals. I decided I wanted it, so I went and grabbed it.
3:59 to go in the third quarter with the Dolphins trailing by 14. As I mentioned, leading into the break, Dolphins need a strong finish here in this third quarter. Griffins hoping to keep CSI at a safe distance. This one winds down. Chestnut Hill 17-9. The Dolphins 9-17 on the year. As Alarcon gets a tough shot to go, but it looks like she's hurt.
It's not good news for the Dolphins. She can't even walk.
And Alarcon's taking a seat on the floor.
Dolphins now playing 5-on-4 defensively. Going to have to call a timeout once they get the ball.
Dolphins nearly had a steal. Hewlett can't connect on the 3. Alarcon still seated on the floor at the other end of the gym. And the layup rattles out, and the Dolphins are going to call a timeout, or the officials will.
Finally get injury timeout after about a minute. It's not good here looking forward, Joe, if this is something serious, because you mentioned all the big implications for Saturday's game.
Let's see if we can spot what happened. She may have come down on the defender's foot.
Maybe she rolled her ankle there on the way down, over how it landed. Maybe we could slow it down.
And we'll do just that here as the game has been stopped for now.
Looks to be her left foot. I think it landed on its side.
I didn't see anything there.
Well, she is grabbing her left foot. So maybe she just landed as we got a big shot there that's made another three-pointer for Gia Esposito. But maybe she landed on one foot. Maybe there was some sort of impact that shot up. Hard to tell.
Well, just like that, the lead is down to single digits. And a foul is called. Just the second team foul on the Dolphins. Here's a look at that last made basket. On the other side of that replay of the Alarcon layup, Gia Esposito perhaps beginning to heat up late in this game.
Well, what I've been saying, I said either Esposito or Lambert need to get hot. We've seen them both get hot in spurts this season. That's what it's going to take to get back in this.
On the drive, Orlowski dropped it off, and there's an easy two for Miller. Dolphins had the momentum and surrendered an easy layup there. This is Johnson. Had it knocked away on the way up. Kept it. Now Phelan, and she's fouled.
Looking at Alarcon grabbing her left ankle. You can see it at the top of your screen, top left.
A lot of the time when you see an injury like that, it's the player landing on the foot of a defender. Didn't see it on the replay. And Phelan hits the free throw. And the lead is back down to single digits. Phelan goes 2 of 2 from the line.
So Dolphins fighting here till the end.
And Jenkins in the passing lane comes up with the steal, is doubled, and gets it out to Johnson. Dolphins can make this a 6-point game. Esposito will try it, and she buries the three.
Well, tenacious Amaya Jenkins leads the charge defensively, and then a wide open Gia Esposito buries the three. We got a 6-point game here. Griffin's got to call a timeout.
Timeout, Chestnut Hill. We will get a look at that entire sequence again right here as the Dolphins have cut the lead all the way down to 6 points. They trailed by as many as 18. There you saw the Jenkins steal. Wisely slowed it down. Dolphins swing it around the perimeter. No hesitation by Esposito. She knocks down another three. With that make, Gia now has 9 points and is 3 of 6 from beyond the arc.
Well, she saw the much slower defender on her there, so she decided to quickly put up a three, knowing the defender wasn't going to be able to get to her. 9 points in this quarter for Gia on three-pointers.
Dolphins in the first half were 2 of 10 from beyond the arc. Here in this third quarter, 3 of 4. And we said it, Nick. Dolphins were going to need to compete from the outside to get back in this game. And they've gotten hot from distance, and they find themselves back to within 6.
Right now for the Griffins, they should just be attacking the paint. Noemi Masinghe playing center, 5'8".
And jump ball was called. It will be Dolphins' possession. That was a good effort on the glass by Masinghe. Looks like the Griffins are about to try and press. They sure will. Just over 90 seconds to play in the third quarter. It's a 2-possession game. Dolphins trailing by 6. Griffins led by as many as 18 in the period. Johnson from Masinghe on the roll, and the layup is good. It's a 4-point game.
How about this, Joe? Dolphins going on a run now with their best player, Alarcon, on the sidelines. Perhaps it's leading the Dolphins to change up their offensive strategy here.
Well, Kaya Johnson has shown in the second half of this season especially, she is very capable at the point guard position, running this Dolphins offense, now running the break. Jenkins, Phelan, Masinghe. Inside, open Jenkins, and it's a 2-point game.
Oh my, Amaya Jenkins! Wow, the Dolphins now down by 2. Who saw this coming, Joe?
The Dolphins are back to within 2. It has not been this close since the opening minutes. And the Dolphins, barring an offensive rebound, will get a chance to tie or take the lead with a stop. Fake by Carter. Drop off inside. Masinge went down to the floor. She's still down. Johnson has the rebound, and the Dolphins have the final shot if they want it. 12 seconds to go, third quarter. The Dolphins have cut an 18-point lead down to 2. Johnson uses the screen. 4 seconds to go. Jenkins for the lead. Splash! And the Dolphins lead by 1 after 3.
Oh my, Amaya Jenkins buries the 3. The tenacious Amaya Jenkins leading the Dolphins all the way back here. They were down 17 and they go into the fourth quarter up 1, 50-49. What a comeback by the Dolphins.
Amaya Jenkins from downtown with the 4th Dolphins three-pointer of the third quarter has given CSI the lead. 50-49. That is our score after 3. When we come back, the fourth quarter in this women's basketball non-conference matchup, Staten Island leading Chestnut Hill 50-49.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
And we are back from the tank where things have taken quite the turn. Late in that third quarter, we headed to a timeout. The Dolphins were beginning to claw their way back, but they still had a ways to go. And Nick, they came all the way back and then some. They take the lead into the fourth.
Here's a story, Joe. Dolphins in that quarter, 4 3-pointers. Griffins 1. And Amaya Jenkins has been the spark plug to get it all going with that big 3 there. And the G. Esposito's 3 3-pointers in that quarter. And the Dolphins are ahead here.
That may have been the Dolphins' best offensive quarter and their best defensive quarter of the season. As the Dolphins force a jump ball, it will be Staten Island possession. But, Nick, you said it. The Dolphins with 4 threes. They shot 10 of 14 in the quarter. The Griffins just 6 of 18 in that third quarter.
Well, we know the Griffins can score from 3, so the Dolphins need to stay hot here and continue knocking down their shots and build on this lead.
When Alarcon went down injured, the Dolphins started playing much faster. We'll see if they keep that pace going here in the fourth. Johnson, floater, no good. That was halfway down. This place was ready to explode. Baseline drive, Boylan, and the layup is good.
Boylan there quiets the crowd and puts the Griffins back ahead 51-50.
That's a big basket by Boylan. Jenkins from Masinge. She was left open. Looks to drive instead. Went down, but Phelan's putback is good.
Well, right there, Joe. The putback was free Phelan as Phelan puts it back with ease. What a sequence there.
Phelan rebounded the miss, never landed, and laid it back in. And that's a good-looking possession for the Griffins. An easy 2 for Schmiel.
Back and forth right now, back and forth. Alarcon back on the bench. Left ankle heavily taped. Not sure if she's going to come back into this game, but I think...
What a move, Kaya Johnson. The Dolphins all of a sudden are abusing the Griffins around the rim.
Well, the Dolphins here, they lose their tallest player. They go to small ball now, and the Griffins can't keep up with the speed and quickness of this 5-person unit on the court right now.
The Dolphins had taken all of the abuse on the inside all game long. The Griffins having their way inside. And all of a sudden, Staten Island with the advantage around the basket. The crowd has really come to life. The officials have drawn the ire of the spectators here.
A lot of Griffins fans over here. Very happy with that call to my right.
And the free throw is no good. The Dolphins' lead remains 1. That free throw is good. Tie game, 54 per side. Just inside of 8 minutes to go. Lambert for Jenkins. Jenkins kicks out, 15 to shoot, still time. Masinge, bounce pass. Jenkins' layup is good.
Wow, Joe. Masinge has looked great going to the basket all night long. That time she goes to the basket, finds the wide open Jenkins, who lays it up and in. Jenkins, career high in points.
For Masinge, defenders have had a tough time staying in front of her all year as Noemia commits the foul there, but the defense tonight has had a really tough time staying in front of her. She draws that double that Alarcon was drawing, and Masinge is showing that she's also a very willing passer.
Absolutely. No one is selfish on this Dolphins team. They all look, as you can see there, to pass and find the open shooter, and Jenkins wide open under the basket for the easy layup off Masinge's feed.
Schmiel misses another free throw. She's now 3 of 7 from the line. Second free throw is good.
Overall tonight, Griffin's pretty good from the line. 11 points on free throws. Dolphins only have 4 points, 4 of 7 on free throws.
The way CSI is playing right now, I have a feeling they may get to the line a bit more late in this game. They've been around the rim quite a bit. Lambert for Johnson. Deep 2. No good. Fight for the rebound. And it will belong to...
Referees are going to huddle. One official immediately said Griffins. The other official said Dolphins. They huddle, and it's going to be Dolphins ball.
I'm sure the Griffins didn't like that very much. Had another look queued up, but we'll stay with the live action for now. Lambert out to Esposito. She may look to shoot this one, Nick. And she does on the pull-up. And Gia knocks it down.
Gia's feeling it now. She's feeling it. All her shots are falling.
After a tough start, I believe Esposito has now hit 4 in a row. She opened the game 0 of 6, is now 4 of 10. She has indeed hit 4 straight. Schmiel inside, reverse layup is good.
Schmiel making that high degree level shot there look easy.
What a game this has turned into. The Dolphins were struggling. They come to life offensively. The defensive effort has been tremendous in this second half. They lead it by 1. Johnson is short, and Schmiel has the rebound, but that's a good look.
Well, Joe, look at the scores table. Look who's getting ready to check back in.
Jenelise Alarcon waiting for her chance to get back in this game as the clock winds down to 6 minutes remaining. Spratt gives it up. This is Sterner. Doubled and fouled. That was going to be a very tough shot.
Now let's see how the Dolphins' offensive approach changes here now with Alarcon back in and obviously hobbled.
Morgan Sterner heads to the line. Her team 11 of 16 from the stripe. Alarcon has checked back in. Masinge to the bench. And the free throw is no good. One more from the line for Sterner. And she goes 1 of 2. That will tie the score at 58.
Comes down here. It's the last 5:50 in this game. It's probably going to end up just being who can make more shots because defensively these teams have been pretty even for the most part.
Johnson out to Lambert. That's a deep 2, no good. Fight for the rebound, and Ryder has it. Alarcon nearly poked it away. That was tipped on the way to the corner. Back to the basket. And Ryder's shot is no good. Giving it up was Miller. Miller was having her way with the Dolphins inside early in the game. I thought she would look to shoot there. Just over 5 minutes to play. We're tied at 58. Jenkins inside. Alarcon, mid-range jumper. Too strong. That's an air ball.
Tough position from where that shot was behind the basket. Gotta
Boylan.
wonder how that left ankle comes into play in her jump shots here.
Ryder into the corner. Spratt will use the screen. Floater, no good, knocked away, and it will be Griffin's basketball. Phelan and Masinghe were ready to check in, but we're going to have a media timeout with inside of 5 minutes to go in the game. Our score with 4:43 remaining. Staten Island 58, Chestnut Hill 58. You won't want to miss the conclusion of this one when we come back from this short break.
For me, just kind of was the glue that kept my family together, I feel like. I don't know what it was that drew me in, but after I started playing for a while and started seeing some early success as a little kid, to see how much it meant to my parents to see me play the game and try to make a difference was really what fueled me to keep playing and stay competitive. Being a triple major is not necessarily easy, but at the same time it is what you make it. Being a tighter-knit university, I have a lot of classes with the same professors, so they know me pretty well. I think it's that personal relationship that really helped me to thrive as a student. I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
And we are back from the tank, where we're tied at 58 with under 5 minutes to play. The Dolphins made a couple of substitutions during that media timeout as Liam Miller hits the turnaround jumper to give the Griffins the lead. Johnson and Jenkins out. Phelan and Masinghe in for the Dolphins. Lambert, corner three is good. Big shot by Ashley Lambert.
Well, Lambert, as we said, a second half player. Both of her made shots here in the second half. 2 of 8 shooting overall on the night.
That's a huge shot by Lambert to put the Dolphins back in front.
Believe it or not, Joe, that was her first three-point attempt of the game, too, and she made it.
Here comes number 2. Air ball. Phelan saved it, but right to Orlowski. Ryder's 3 rattles out. Miller with the rebound. Shot from the corner is good. Orlowski knocks it down, and timeout has been called by the Griffins.
You must have so much confidence taking those three-point shots when you know there's a good chance if you miss it, your team's going to get a second chance because you have all that height down low. And the Griffins are doing a tremendous job on the glass with 39 rebounds, out-rebounding the Dolphins by 10, who have only 29 rebounds.
Well, speaking of confidence, Ashley Lambert from the corner. And she buries it for 3. At the time, that gave CSI the lead. They now trail by 1 again with 3:44 on the clock, and we just had a break. So we will stay right here in this fourth quarter. Griffins 5 of 9 from the field. The Dolphins have attempted 3 more shots, but they're only shooting 5 of 12. Both teams with 5 makes in the quarter. The Griffins 12 of 18 from the line. The Dolphins just 4 of 7. That hasn't changed, as the Dolphins will keep the same 5 in the game. Both of us are a bit surprised to see Jenkins and Johnson come out. Perhaps they'll get some more run inside of the final couple of minutes, as Alarcon's righty hook shot is no good. She's ambidextrous on the inside. We've seen her go up with the lefty hook quite a bit. Ryder at the top of the arc. Big opportunity here for the Griffins to make this a 3-point game. 10 to shoot. Ryder gives it up. Open shot for Boylan, no good. It's loose and rebounded again by the Griffins. Kaya Johnson back to the scorer's table, getting ready to check in. 10 on the shot clock. Boylan with 5 to shoot. Ryder over Esposito. Tough shot. That's an air ball, and that will be a shot clock violation.
Great defense there by the Dolphins after they give up the offensive rebound. Now, Gia Esposito goes to the bench, and Kaya Johnson checking back in.
Can't ask for any more than that defensively if you're the Dolphins.
So Dolphins now, Joe, with their starting 5 out there.
This is Johnson for Masinge.
Minus LaFaro.
Alarcon immediately doubled. Masinge with a nice cut and lays it in for 2.
Great court vision there to find Masinge, who's cutting. Lays it up and in. Alarcon is fired up.
Great feed by Alarcon, who was very patient in that double team, and that patience was key. Boylan, air ball, rebound by Lambert, and she's fouled.
First foul here for the Griffins.
Here's a look at that last Dolphins basket. Masinge on the backdoor cut, barely avoiding the block attempt of Spratt, who swatted at that ball. 2:03 remaining. The Dolphins lead it by 1. Now an opportunity for CSI to make this a 3-point game, perhaps a 2-possession game with a 3. Johnson, step back jumper is no good. Orlowski hands off to Ryder. Right back to Orlowski inside for Miller. Big size advantage. She's triple teamed and fouled.
Well, he definitely got to double team her when she gets the ball. But the foul there, not ideal for the Dolphins.
If you're the Dolphins here, I think a 3-point lead is huge, because then you can afford to double in the post and not fall behind on a 3, and that's exactly what happens right there. They fall behind on that last triple. It's now a 2-point game. Orlowski with another big shot. She has 9. Hasn't missed. 3 of 3, and the Dolphins will call timeout. Dolphins don't need a 3. There's still plenty of time. The deficit is just a pair. And you have to think Nicole Sarcone is going to diagram something during this timeout.
Well, she's talking to the official. I don't know if maybe she didn't like that foul call before.
I'm thinking, and this is just speculation on my part, I'm thinking she may have wanted a moving screen ahead of that 3. The contest was made around a screen, and I think potentially that's what Nicole was talking to the official about. I could be completely wrong on that. Pure speculation on my part.
Well, Dolphins here, they're going to need a big shot. So I think Esposito's going to come back in here, see if they can maybe diagram something for her. We'll see who comes out. We've seen in these scenarios Lambert, the inbounder. So we'll see what is diagrammed here. This is a big possession here. I'm going to guess, Joe, that goes to Alarcon, and then we'll take it from there and see what happens.
There's no doubt Esposito will command attention. You know that on the other side, Jim Connolly will see that Gia has checked back into the game, and I'm sure he'll let his team know to make sure she's not open.
So Esposito, Alarcon, Johnson, Masinge, and Lambert, the 5 on the court right now.
The handoff to Gia. And she tries a 3, and it's good. Gia Esposito gives the Dolphins the lead.
Mamma mia, it's Gia. Unbelievable. Inbounds it to Alarcon. Alarcon dishes it to Esposito, and she buries the 3.
Couldn't believe she shot it, Nick.
It didn't look like it was going in initially, and she drained it.
She was nonchalantly dribbling around the screen and then just pulled up. And speaking of pull-ups, Bree Ryder with a big basket right there on the pull-up jumper.
Huge shot.
Timeout has been called.
But accidentally diagrammed possession there, the inbound by Coach Sarcone, as you see here.
Esposito with another big basket. She has now hit her last 5 shots. And in just a moment, we'll get a look at that basket at the other end. A very similar look off of a screen. Here it is. Bree Ryder off the Miller screen over the outstretched arm of Alarcon. Buries that last shot. And what an entertaining game this has been as these two teams go back and forth with under a minute to play.
Very exciting here. The huge comeback has been one of the best second halves of the season for the Dolphins.
This has undoubtedly been one of the most entertaining games of the year. And we still have plenty of time left. 53 and a half seconds to go. Dolphins have it. They're coming out of a timeout. They have one remaining. And
let's see, do they try to do the same play again?
I think you run a very similar look and then have Alarcon roll to the basket. We'll see. And that is not what the Dolphins had in mind as they give it away off the inbound and nearly allowed an and one.
Rough there. Griffins can make this a 3-point game if they make both of these free throws.
Well, that just took the energy right out of the building, and that's a careless pass right there. Good defensive play by Abby Spratt, who misses the first free throw.
All right, so no matter what, Dolphins will have the opportunity to at least tie it here on the next possession or take the lead.
Spratt goes 1 of 2 from the line, and the Dolphins will use their final timeout.
Griffins keep going 1 for 2 from the line. Are you surprised here that the Dolphins are going to use this last timeout, considering the amount of time left? And you might need that timeout for potentially the last possession.
I think perhaps you save it. If I'm Nicole Sarcone in that situation, I think given that it was a turnover, you use the timeout here because you just coughed it up last time. Something didn't work. Had the Dolphins executed on the prior possession, I think they would have saved the timeout.
All right, so the question now is Esposito going to inbound this again?
That's a good question.
I would say no, but we'll see.
Like I said before, I think the plan is very likely a similar look to what we saw before with Alarcon rolling to the rim. But we'll see.
So Lambert here should probably get to inbound it to Alarcon, and we'll see if Esposito rolls up to the top.
Alarcon has it. Esposito will take it. Let's see if she rolls here. She does. Johnson has it. Now Alarcon fakes, drives, floater is good. Chenelise Alarcon ties the score.
Unbelievable, Joe. That was a crazy shot there by Alarcon. Dolphins could not get a clean look, but Alarcon doesn't care. It doesn't matter to her. She makes it look easy with that unbelievable off balance on one good foot shot to tie the game at 68-68. As you get another look at it right now on your screen.
That was off the good ankle, Nick, as Alarcon has tied the score, and perhaps not to be overlooked here, it's a very small differential, but the Dolphins did go 2 for 1. The Griffins could hold for the final shot with a 1.4 second differential, but if they don't, the Dolphins may have some time to dribble up the floor. This is where that timeout comes into play as well, Nick. You mentioned it, thinking perhaps the Dolphins might elect to save their final timeout, and I think they very well would have had they not turned it over on the previous inbound.
Well, I think here for the Griffins, I'm going to assume Coach Jim Conley wants the Griffins to take this clock down as much as possible and to get that one good look, which could potentially be the game winner.
I completely agree with you. However, if they do commit a shot clock violation, the clock will stop with 1.4. If they shoot late and the Dolphins get a rebound, the time could run out.
Dolphins already 5 fouls, so if they foul here, going right to the line.
It goes without saying, if you're the Dolphins, you simply cannot foul in this spot. If I'm the Griffins, I'm holding for the final shot. And I'm making sure it's the very last shot of regulation. Let's see what they do. And they turn it over, but Esposito gave it back. The shot clock did not reset, and a traveling violation is called against Schmiel.
Oh boy, Joe. Esposito picks it off. She then gets pushed down, drops it, but Schmiel there travels. Griffin's going to bring in some height here off the bench as Carter and Miller come in. 13.8 Dolphins here. Can hold for the last shot. They definitely will. It's going to be a tough inbound here as the Griffins are pressing. Let's see who could be the hero here.
I can't believe the Griffins tried to move the ball so early. The Dolphins will have to contend with a full court press. Masinga is all alone up the floor, and she lays it in with 6.6 remaining. Noemia Masinga left all alone underneath the rim, and she gives the Dolphins the lead.
Let's take a look at that replay, Joe. Unbelievable. Griffins, here we go on the replay. Griffins trying to press. They get it to Esposito. Esposito throws it down court all the way to Masinga. Let's see if maybe we could cue that. Can you cue that back up a little further back? Because that was excellent ball movement there by the Dolphins to beat the press.
I cannot believe Masinga was left all alone up the floor.
So Lambert inbounds it to Johnson. Johnson back to Lambert. Lambert to Esposito. Esposito all the way up the court to Masinga, who is open and knocks it in potentially for a game-winning shot. Dolphins ahead here 70-68 with 6.6 seconds left in regulation. Griffins to inbound.
Whether or not the Dolphins come away with the win, this has been a tremendous game and a tremendous effort from this Dolphins
now
team.
Keep in mind, the timeout let the Griffins advance the ball half court.
6 seconds to play. Chestnut Hill with a chance to tie to the rim. The floater is good. Abby Spratt with 1.6 to go. Jenkins will not get a shot off. That does not count. And we are headed to overtime.
First time this season, Joe, that we'll be calling overtime. And this has been a thriller. We're going to need some more time to sort this one all out. Let's take a deep breath. Let's decompress because overtime's going to be wild if this fourth quarter is any indication.
Spratt did not think about passing for a moment there. And I think that's the look they wanted on the last possession when they turned it over. But they tried to swing the ball to the wing early, gave it away. The Dolphins took the lead on the Masinga layup, which we'll look at again right here. And the Griffins answer back at the other end of the floor with a floater by Abby Spratt. She was triple teamed under the basket and put it in with about 1 second remaining in the game. But Nick, I was saying before that last inbound, the Dolphins needed to continue to play strong defense, needed to hit shots from the outside, and they did both of those things, came all the way back. But good composure shown by this Griffins team, a team that is accustomed to winning, a regionally competitive team, a regionally ranked team. And the Dolphins have given them all they can handle tonight, but credit to the Griffins bouncing back and executing on that last possession.
Well, absolutely. Ice in their veins there, the Griffins on last possession. 6.6 seconds. They had the timeout. They advanced the ball. And with that, they were able to have enough time to tie the game. And we're heading to overtime here. Alarcon to jump against Schmiel. Schmiel, obviously, with the height advantage, as we've got outlined all game long.
Well, if you're one of those college basketball fans who only tunes in for the conference games, you've missed a great one here tonight. But for all of you who have joined us, thank you very much for tuning in. And these two teams have certainly put on a show. We have at least 5 more minutes to go here.
How about Alarcon winning that tip?
What sprained ankle? As Alarcon has been a key part of what the Dolphins have done late in this game. Her teammates picked her up as well as Johnson was rejected on the attempted layup. Here come the Griffins. Spratt. Lambert and Esposito immediately to the scorer's table. Spratt has it on the baseline, defended by Jenkins. Sterner, lefty layup is good off the window.
All right, Dolphins going to have to keep it going here. Back and forth offensively.
Just over 4 minutes to play in overtime. Phelan. Back over to Johnson, who almost got caught off guard there. Alarcon looks to drive, gets by her defender and can't finish. Rebound by Sterner.
Alarcon ended up getting double teamed there.
That was a tough shot. She went up from beneath the rim.
Schmiel and Carter smothered her.
That was tipped out of bounds by Masinga. And Esposito and Lambert will check back in.
Phelan and Johnson to the bench.
3:43 on the clock in overtime. Griffins can make this a two-possession game with a basket here. Carter wanted the entry pass to Schmiel. Instead looks to drive. Alarcon may have gotten a piece. And Masinge drew a foul.
Great job there on Masinge.
Here comes Jenkins. She gives it up to Esposito. Esposito has been red hot in the second half. And that's a bad pass. And Jenkins commits the foul. Dolphins have been a bit out of sorts to open up this overtime. Not good possession so far.
So the bonus carries over into overtime. Since going right to the free throw line here.
Guess so. First free throw is good. Morgan Olowski at the line.
So that's rough here for the Dolphins. 3 more minutes to go. Any foul is going to be a one-on-one.
And it's now a two-possession game. Chestnut Hill has now scored the last 6 going back to regulation. 3:10 on the clock. Lambert. Wanted Alarcon, had it poked away. And the Griffins have really turned up the intensity on defense. There's a great feed from Esposito. It's swatted by Schmiel. Esposito, open 3 is up. Splash!
Oh, you knew it, Joe. You knew she was going to neck that shot. Had her time to square up. She's been so hot here since the second half started. Wide open there. And that was actually better off that the Dolphins had Alarcon get rejected because they got 3 points instead of 2, making a 1-point game.
That's a shot the Dolphins had to have. And Gia Esposito delivers. Sterner can't answer. It's loose and rebounded by Orlowski.
Dolphins can't afford to miss many shots because on the other end, when Chestnut misses shots, they're getting rebounds almost every time.
Schmiel is double-teamed, and that's not enough. She rattles in the hook shot. Well, the Dolphins can't afford to give up many more offensive rebounds. Trailing by a possession, there are only so many possessions remaining in this game. Jenkins, pull-up. No good. That's way off.
Under 2 minutes left now, down 3. Going to need a stop if you're the Dolphins.
Griffins with a chance to make it a two-possession game again. Schmiel backing down Alarcon, nearly traveled. Jenkins fell to the floor. Sterner's floater no good, and Schmiel puts it back up and in.
Well, right now, a lot of the offense here in overtime for the Griffins has been off the offensive rebounds.
And the Dolphins will call timeout here. And CSI in this overtime has really struggled rebounding the basketball. They've gotten the stops they've needed, but have not done a good job on the glass, and that's really hurt them here in overtime. Dolphins now trail by 5. They don't need a 3 yet, but they certainly need a basket. Dolphins electing to use their one and only timeout in overtime here. We'll look to diagram something off of this inbound. And if they do get a quick basket, at least with outside of a minute, they can ensure that with a stop they won't have to foul. That's looking decently far ahead, but if the Dolphins take the full shot clock here, Chestnut Hill can then do the same. And if they still lead by 2 possessions, Dolphins will have to foul after a score. So,
well, this is the first thing the Dolphins have to do here. They have to score right now. If they don't do that, they're going to have all sorts of trouble here. Got to score, and then they ideally need to get a stop or at least get a defensive rebound for once here at overtime.
I like the timeout by Nicole Sarcone because if you go up with a quick shot and don't score, you don't have to foul. Good defense by the Griffins. Esposito throws up a tough shot, and that never had a chance. Schmiel all over it, and Esposito is whistled for a foul.
Schmiel now with a chance to ice this one with the free throws.
With the Dolphins having no timeouts, if Schmiel hits both, CSI is in a lot of trouble. If she misses one, the Dolphins still within 2 possessions. 15 of 22 from the line for the Griffins, now 16 of 23. They've really seized control of this game here in overtime. And it's now a 3-possession game. The Dolphins are out of timeouts. They need to move quickly.
Need a 3.
They need 3 baskets no matter what. Lambert pressured. Spratt all over her, giving her no space. Alarcon for 3. It rattles out. Masinge with the rebound. Esposito wanted Jenkins. She throws it away. It's stolen by Schmiel, and that might do it.
Great effort tonight by the Dolphins to battle back. Well, it looks like they're going to come up a little too short here in this overtime period.
Foul is called, and the Griffins will head back to the line. And this building has gone silent.
Johnson in for Jenkins. Jenkins, I'm going to say her best performance of her Dolphins career of 14 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals.
Alarcon went down with the injury. Jenkins came in. She was a huge part of the comeback. Esposito hit several huge shots. She started 0 of 6, 6 of 7 since. But unfortunately on this night, it wasn't enough, as the Dolphins now trail by 9.
Esposito 21 points last Saturday, 17 points tonight, continuing her good scoring.
Alarcon will try a 3. No good. And the Griffins will head to the line again as Masinge gives the foul, but Dolphins will come up short tonight, Nick. And after trailing by as many as 18 in this game, CSI came all the way back, had the lead with 6.6 remaining until this basket right here.
Well, Joe, I hate saying there's such a thing as moral victories in basketball, but for the most part, the Dolphins here need to be pleased with how they came back in the second half, but they need to start better. They need to start the games better, and it's all going to come down to this Saturday right here at the Tank at 1 p.m., the biggest game of the season for the team.
Well, if there's one positive takeaway from this game other than the comeback effort, because, you know, if you're a player or a coach, what matters is wins and losses. But if there's one positive to take away, it's that the Dolphins in this second half played their best quarter of the season. The fourth quarter was also a strong quarter as Lambert knocks down a 3. It's an 8-point game. We'll see if the Dolphins foul again. And they will. So we'll get a chance to talk a bit more about what's on the line this weekend. But with the conference playoffs looming and the Dolphins having a chance to make it, playing like this is certainly what they're looking to do moving into the ECC tournament. They need more halves like this second half and fewer first halves.
And when you're playing a regionally ranked team like the Griffins, who are 17-9 in the season at the top of the Central Atlantic Collegiate Conference, the second half performance is what you need to see a lot of this weekend and moving forward in the ECC.
So the scenarios for the playoffs right now, the Dolphins have not clinched. If you go on the ECC website and look at the standings, you'll think the Dolphins may be on the outside looking in. However, Deauville is in their 3rd provisional season. The Saints cannot make the playoffs, as Esposito is short on that 3, and that'll do it. But the Saints can't make the playoffs. They're in provisional year 3, so they can't qualify. The Dolphins are in the 6th spot right now. They have a 1-game lead over Malloy. Malloy has 2 conference games left. The Dolphins have 1. If the Dolphins win and Malloy wins both, it will come down to tiebreakers. If the Dolphins win and Malloy only wins 1, the Dolphins are in. If the Dolphins lose and Malloy wins both, CSI is out. The Dolphins defeated Roberts Wesleyan earlier this year. That's their opponent on Saturday. So the Dolphins, at the very least, if Malloy wins a game, they need to win on Saturday to lock up their spot. If they win and Malloy wins 2, it's going to come down to tiebreakers, and I'm not sure what that tiebreaker would look like, as Malloy still has a couple of games to go. So for the Dolphins, a chance on Saturday potentially to clinch a playoff spot. We'll see what Malloy does in their next game but a big one coming up on Saturday nonetheless.
Yeah, you might lay out the host scenarios there, but really what it boils down to is either be here in the tank on Saturday or tune in to us on the ECC network on Saturday, because it's all going to come down to that for not only the women's team, but you'll also hear about what's going to go with the men's team moving forward.
So for the men, it's simple. If they win, they are in. If they lose and Queens loses one of their last 2 games, CSI is in. The only way the Dolphins wouldn't make it is if Queens wins both of their remaining games and the Dolphins lose. And even then, the Dolphins, if I'm not mistaken, could still win the tiebreaker. Perhaps that tiebreaker was already decided this past weekend, as there was a big game, I believe, between Damon and Stack, though that may be in regards to Dolphins seeding. The Dolphins could still finish as high as the 5 seed, which could send them to UDC. They could end up taking on Damon. The Dolphins could play more than one team. There's a lot on the line for the men this Saturday, even if they have clinched, because they could end up playing a team they have beaten already this year, or they could end up playing a Damon team that has swept them. So I think if you're the men, you prefer to play the team you've beaten in the first round, but who knows what their thought process is heading into the playoffs. I'm sure they'll be thrilled to be in the playoffs and a chance potentially for them to clinch before Saturday. If Queens wins, a chance to clinch on their home floor on Saturday. So once again, our next broadcast will be on Senior Day. This Saturday, the Dolphins take on Roberts Wesleyan University. The women up first at 1 p.m., followed by the men at 3. Until then, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night. This has been Joe Foreman alongside Nick Durst for CSI Sportsnet, a proud part of the ECC Network.